Wow, that's a big adjustment. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, I want to share with you some new reports that just hit the wire today, so let's get into it and discuss these one at a time. All right, so first off, this new report that just hit the wire today is showing that 40% of Americans are struggling to pay for their everyday groceries on an ongoing monthly basis. The report goes on to show that 1/3 of Americans right now are also struggling to pay for their everyday essentials on a monthly basis as well. The report continues on to show that 25% of Americans believe that this country is moving in the right direction. So these reports right here are kind of scary and showing what is really happening with the average American right now. That's kind of scary. 40% of people are struggling to pay for groceries. Well, here's what's interesting. I also shared with you just the other day about food insecurity. Here's what's interesting, and I talked about this just the other day, but let me say this once again, just in case you didn't see that video, because this is also very interesting, and honestly, it's pretty scary right now. So as of the last 30 days, another new report that was released a couple days ago was showing that food insecurity is sitting at 21%. In other words, 21% of households right now are experiencing food insecurity. To put that into perspective, back in March and April of 2021, 21.6% of households were experiencing food insecurity. So right now, we are experiencing virtually the exact same amount of food insecurity than what we were experiencing during the depths of the lockdowns in early 2020. Right? So that should be raising a little bit of a red flag right now for a lot of people. I also did see a report just a couple days ago as well. And again, I did talk about this the other day, but I just want to throw this out there really quickly. As long as we're talking about food and things like this, I saw that this other report just the other day was showing that a food bank got a new delivery of food, and within 90 minutes, they were empty. That's it. Gone. It was all taken away. So the fact of the matter is, people are really starting to come into these food banks and food shelves right now because they simply can't make ends meet right now. Sad situation, but this is the reality of what is actually going on right now, right? So interesting, but again, I want to share these kinds of reports with you. Now next, another report that's coming out right now is showing that the average American right now is taking out an extra $100 out of their savings just to cover their regular everyday expenses and necessities. Now again, this is the average American. On average, is taking out $100 out of their savings. So basically what this means is that the income that people have right now is simply not enough to cover the living expenses between rent and a mortgage, car payment, gas in your car, insurance for your car, utilities, all of these things, phone bills, food on the table, all of these other expenses that people have. Basically, their income is not covering it, and therefore they need to take money out of savings to actually make ends meet on a monthly basis. But here's what's interesting. What about all the people that don't have any savings right now? Well, that's a good question. Guess where that money's coming from? Yep, you called it. It's going onto a credit card, just like that report that I shared with you a few days ago, showing that credit card balances have now hit $890 billion, which is up 13% in a short period of time. So basically what this is showing is that yet again, people do not have the money. They're either taking the money out of their savings, which by the way, savings accounts are being depleted right now at a record pace. And as of a few months ago, some of the economists and experts that are watching this were actually anticipating that Americans only had about 6 months left of savings. Well, this was a few months ago, by the way. So according to what they're actually suggesting, the average American out there will be completely out of savings within the next about 2 to 3 months. Scary. Again, until we get some kind of relief on this or something, what happens when people are out of savings? They've literally used up all their savings because of inflation, our favorite word of 2022. Not, just kidding, it's not our favorite word. We don't like that word. But anyway, these are the reports that are going on. I'd like to share these with you so that you can get a real glimpse as to what is actually happening in this country and how Americans are really, really being impacted right now. It is not just you, it's not just me, it's not just the people here in this community. It is everybody on a big, big scale, which by the way, as of right now in the United States, there's about 333 to 335 million people in this country, and you can see these numbers, the percentages that I was just giving you. It's a lot of people that we're talking about right now, right? So let's continue on here and talk about another report. This one was released earlier this morning, and this is the non-farm payroll number. Now, this is the number that is released once per month. It's released on the first Friday of every month, and this is giving us a glimpse into the job market for the previous month. Well, this is the reading that we got for the month of July, right? So last month we got the job reading this morning, and it is showing that they added, as in they being employers, added 528,000 jobs. Now, this is actually a really big number, basically twice twice what analysts and experts were actually anticipating. They were anticipating about 250,000 jobs across the board, and we got 528,000 jobs that were created in the month of July, which, by the way, the unemployment rate has gone down from 3.6% down to 3.5%. Is this a good thing? Well, yes, it's a good thing, but on the other hand, it's also signaling that this economy is still way too strong right now, and the Federal Reserve will likely be aggressively raising interest rates even more to bring this economy down. So remember, the whole point behind the Federal Reserve right now is to aggressively raise interest rates and to bring this economy down, to cool it down. The economy is too hot. So inflation is too hot, the economy is too hot, things like this. So as a result of that, the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates very aggressively right now. Like with their last couple meetings here, they've raised interest rates by 75 basis points the last two meetings, and they're likely going to do another 50 basis points or maybe even another 75 basis points with their next meeting in about 2 months' time from right now. It's a little bit more than 2 months, but roughly 2 months from right now is when their next meeting will be. In about mid-September is when their next one will be, and they're going to be raising rates again unless something very substantially actually happens between now and then. And again, I'll keep you posted on that as well. But these are some of the reports that are coming out right now. So you can see here, we've got a lot of different moving parts right now, right? Again, with all these other reports that I've been coming out with as of the last, week and a half, month and a half, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, you can see here with all these different reports, things are actually transpiring very, very quickly right now. Things are changing, and as you can see here from all these reports, at the end of the day, regardless of which report we look at, Americans are having a hard time right now. And again, this is it's not going to get much better anytime soon. This is going to be a problem that will continue to persist going forward. Now, I also want to throw out some more details as well. We got some details late yesterday evening that Kyrsten Sinema, who is the one last holdout Democrat in the Senate, has now offered her support for the reconciliation bill that they will be voting on tomorrow, as I talked about in that last video from just a few hours ago. So they're going to be voting on that tomorrow, and it looks like as of right now, they have all the support they need with the 50 Democratic senators to get this bill through. And remember, with reconciliation, they can get this bill done with just a simple majority, 50 votes plus one from the vice president to get it through with 51 votes. So with that being said, this is the bill that's going to jack up your taxes. This is the bill that's going to come in and take more money away from you through inflation and increased taxes. So just remember that as well. During a time right now when so many people are struggling, they're going to lay it on thick even harder right now. So be prepared. And again, this is not my thing. So I'm just letting you know that I'm just the messenger here. But with this reconciliation bill, yep, as I talked about in a video just the other day, this reconciliation bill will be raising taxes by a tune of $16.15 billion for those people with an income under $200,000, and the vast majority of that income is going to come from those people with an income under $10,000. Smart, right? I don't know about you, but that does not seem very smart to me, to take money from the people who pretty much don't really have anything anyway. So, I don't know. Something about that seems really, really messed up to me, but that's what they're going to be doing with this thing. So there's going to be a lot of tax increases here. There's going to be a lot of extra money taken away through tax revenues, things like that. And a lot of people that don't have the money are going to have to be asked to fork up a little bit more these days. Super sad situation. Anyway, and along with the letter that we received and what I talked about in that previous video is that a letter came out and from these 230 economists calling on the Congress and basically everybody behind this bill right now that's going to be passed, this $433 billion is just going to stoke up inflation even more. So if you thought paying high prices was fun today, just wait, because it's going to get even worse, right? Even though the Federal Reserve is stepping up with their aggressive interest rate hikes, it's not doing anything. We can clearly see from the efforts out of the Federal Reserve, it's doing nothing. So not really sure what they're going to continue to do here, and if they're going to continue on with this aggressive policy, and if they think this is actually working, because it's not. We should be being able to see some of the effects by now, but we're not seeing anything. All they're doing is just raising interest rates and saying, yep, this is the solution. We're going to bring this inflation down. Good luck, guys. Yeah, so anyway, these are some of the details that I want to bring you in this video. Again, kind of a jam-packed day. There's been a lot of different reports here, a lot of different commentary coming out, and again, just a lot of different announcements coming out. But these are some of the things that were hitting the wire today. I like to give you these updates because we need to keep an eye on all of this stuff because it's all going to impact us in some way, shape, or form. And at the end of the day, I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know about some of these different reports. I want to know about how many Americans right now are really having a hard hard time. I want to know about food insecurity. I want to know about how much money people are spending on a monthly basis and how people are not able to make ends meet. I want to know about these bills that Congress is passing, and I want to know about the announcements coming out of the Labor Department and jobs reports and all kinds of things like this, because I want to know, because it's all going to come full circle, and it's all going to impact us. Like I've said so many times in previous videos, that's why we need to watch all of it so incredibly closely, because at the end of the day, it's all going to translate back into us. What's in it for us? Well, we already know what's in it for us. More inflation, higher taxes, and ultimately less support from Congress. Great, the trifecta. Just what we all need right now, right? Anyway, hope you're doing well. This is the report that I have for you as of right now with the latest details that were just released today. As I learn more about anything going on, and of course, those votes coming in tomorrow, of course, I'll be here for you right by your side, breaking it all down and bringing you all the details as far as what's going on and how it's going to impact us, as well as anything out there right now that we can take advantage of. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out some of the other thousands and thousands of videos right here on the channel. Until next time, have a good one. Thanks so much for joining me. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later in the